So in your video lesson today, we're going to continue talking about our A string and putting our fingers down on the A string. So last week in your worksheet, we started talking about how we read A, B, C, D on the staff and what finger numbers those are. So to recap, A is open, B is finger number 1, C is finger number 2, D is finger number 3. So when we're putting them on the strings, I'm going to kind of try to zoom in a little bit here, on our A string here, so your finger number 1, and of course you have the tape which makes it a little bit easier, but your finger number 1, and then we talked about C natural and C sharp. So C natural would go right beside B, C sharp would go a little further up. But we're going to play C naturals right now. So for now, you're going to squish your finger 2 right beside your finger number 1, and then your D is your finger 3. Okay, so I want you to keep practicing those, but I'm going to give you some techniques for putting your fingers down on these strings to make it a little bit easier. So the first one is your wrist. Okay, so I'm going to lower the camera a little bit here so you can see my wrist a little bit better. So when I'm holding, and I know we've talked about this a little in class, but when I'm holding here, we've been supporting your violin like this for now, but you should be able to hold on hands-free. So if this is troublesome to do, we might need to do some adjusting with your shoulder rest or your chin. Actually, I think you don't even have one of these, so you really need to get one of those. It's going to make this easier. Because when we go to play with your hands, with your fingers on the string, you need to have a straight line when it comes to your wrist in your hand. If your wrist is collapsed, you are not going to be able to put your fingers down properly on the string, and you're not going to have the ability to scooch up. Not all of our notes are played down here. They're sometimes played up here, and we go higher and lower. Sometimes we slide in different songs, so you need to have flexibility of motion in here, and that means you cannot be doing this. Alternatively, we cannot be doing this. This is also not good. I can't reach my finger 4 if I have this weird thing going on. So you really need to straighten that out and make it a straight line. So you can practice by looking in the mirror. Actually look at your arm and make sure that that's straight. Okay? It's going to take some getting used to. We also really want to relax this hand, make it really, really floppy when I'm holding the strings. Like my hand should be natural. It should be the natural curvature of your fingers as you're putting them down on the violin. So that's the other thing that I really want to talk about. I'm going to show you a little bit more. Is putting your finger down on the string, for example, on our B, our A string finger number 1, you really want to come down on top of the note. So when I'm holding my violin, I don't want to flat finger it. I really want to come down on top, and that means kind of turning my hand, keeping that straight, bringing my elbow around so that I can really come down on top of that note. If you are flat fingering it, I'm going to hit the wrong notes. I'm going to hit 2 strings at once. It's just not going to sound good. You really need those round fingers. Okay, so that's what we want, is nice round fingers. So we're just going to practice doing your A, B, C, D going up and down. So you can practice this with me. So get your violin ready. Take my lead off. I don't need that. Okay, so we have open A, B, C, D. So when you're watching, you can't even really see the difference between B and D, right? That's how close they are. That's how close they should be. So let's just practice going up and down A, B, C, D, D, C, B, A on our string here. Okay, another thing we can try is doing those with our different rhythms. We used putting our fingers down, and we're also going to use our different kind of notes. So we're going to start with a whole note for each one. So that's going to mean full bow. Okay, so start right at the frog. We're going to go open A all the way down until you run out of bow. Now do your B. Right back up to the frog. C. All the way down, and then D. All the way up. Those are whole notes. We'll try half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try quarter notes now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can try dotted half note as well. That's the one that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So practice doing those and trying to use a really big bow. Even when you're doing quarter notes, you shouldn't be doing little bows. You should still be doing 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see how much my bow moves even when I'm just doing quarter notes. So practice those and get used to putting your fingers down on your A string.